Om Shruti Smriti Purananamalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Avijñāte Janmanashtam Vijñāte Janmasarthakam Jnāturatmā nadure syāt iti Vedanta Dindima. You are the Jnata. See, first of all, we have to know our status correctly. The moment you make a mistake there, that remains a mistake whole life. You have to know your status correctly. Shankara gives the example of a prince who believes that he is the son of a dacoit. This robber, this dacoit, has kidnapped this boy. He is a prince. And he kidnapped and he wanted ransom. But his wife, she said, no ransom, nothing. This boy will stay with me. She loved the boy, small boy. And so he kept quiet. No ransom demand, nothing. And so the kidnapping, so the king could not do anything. If ransom is asked, he will offer something, some movement will be there. No movement. And so the boy grew up with the dacoit in the forest, in some cave-like place, whatever. And he became elder, he became young. Now he is the prince. He is the prince. The father, his father is the king, and he is still searching for the prince. One day, I may yet see my son, because he has not seen the dead body, therefore must be alive somewhere. And he should come back and take the kingdom. That is what his father is praying every day to God. And the command is always there to minister and to other people. Never forget to look for the prince. He must be there. Anyway, he is the prince. He thinks that he is a dacoit. So Shankara says, what should he do now to become the prince? He is the prince. To become the prince, he should only know his status correctly. He gives this example, and there is some more around it, around the example, but that is the point. You should know your status correctly. If you say, I am a businessman, you are wrong. You are not a businessman. You do business, which is fine, but you are not a businessman. You are the Jnata, the awareful person, being. That is what you are. I am the father. No, you are not the father. You give birth to the children, you take care of them, you do everything for them. So that is there in Prarabdha anyway. So let it be done. We don't want to interrupt that. In fact, we want that to be done well. Do well. What needs to be done, do well. That is what is called kartavya karma or dharma, karma yoga, whatever name you give to it. Whatever needs to be done, do it well. And don't expect something from it. It is wrong, you know. You bring up the children and want them to do something back for they have to have the desire to do service to elders. They should have that desire. They don't seem to have it. These advanced societies and the sophisticated life of modernity makes the young people very selfish. You want to teach them rituals, puja, etc. But they will be doing puja all right, but they will be doing the puja for the fulfillment of desires. That is what they will do. And they think that is the right thing to do. Because the elders think the same thing, and therefore they also think the same thing. So they don't even know what is selflessness. Even in puja they are selfish. How they will come and do service to the parents? No way. Because they are not groomed the right way. So we think that the grooming means teach them some rituals. That is not grooming. Anyway, that is a side topic. Therefore, we don't expect the children to come back and do service to us. We do our duty. But that doesn't, we should not take that as a status. That is not the status. I am the father. That is not the status. I am the mother. That is not the status. If you don't mind, I would say one more thing about this father-mother thing. People believe that they are playing the roles. They caught this phrase somewhere. So we are playing the roles. You ask this question to yourself in an honest way. Are you playing the roles? Or are you obsessively identified with a status? What are you? Are you playing the role? You think about it. Role playing is what? It is not a phrase to be brandied around like that. If you are really playing the role, hats off. But my question is, are you playing the role? Or are you saying role playing? Because what happens is, these phrases, they are not understood well, they can be very misleading. Some kind of complacency develops, oh yeah, we are playing roles. You are not playing roles. You are badly identified. I am not saying about the few nice people sitting here. In general, I am saying. So, you know what a role player means? This is discussed in Alankara Shastra. Like Avijnana Shakuntalam of Kalidasa is being played on the stage. Or Shakespeare's King Lear. It is being played on the stage. Now this man who is playing the role of Dushyanta, he is ever watchful. In every step he is watchful. I have to put the step that Dushyanta would have put. I have to say the words that Dushyanta would say. Like that. Ever watchful. He is never Dushyanta, I tell you. Not even for a second he is Dushyanta. Not even for a second. You think about it. He is not Dushyanta, even for a second. He is ever watchful, Dushyanta, saying the same dialogues. He doesn't look at Shakuntala as his beloved. If he looks at Shakuntala as his beloved, Shakuntala will slap him on the face. He will not do that mistake. Just watchful, Dushyanta. He says, oh dear, he is Dushyanta. He is not saying it as himself. Dushyanta. Therefore, role playing is a phrase. They use it, and I smile at it. Because when we were studying this Alankara Shastra, there was a big discussion. You see, some of these drama artists, they claim, I mean, we are artists. That is what they first give a status to them, artists. In India, I don't know how they do in Hollywood. In India, we are artists. All these Tollywood people, they say we are artists. Maybe so, I don't know. We live in that role. They say like that. We live in the role. They say, they don't know what they are talking. They don't know. They are not living in the role. Probably what they mean is, without their knowing, what they mean is, they are very watchful while doing the role. That is what they must be meaning. They say we live in the role in a sense that they totally identify with the role, which they never do. If they identify with the role, it is gone. It will be spoiled. They don't identify with the role. They are in the role. Very watchful. So in the Alankara Shastra, this discussion was there. The Purva Paksha is, the person lives in the role, he becomes the role, the actor becomes Dushyanta, there is only Dushyanta now, there is no actor. It is Purva Paksha. Siddhanta, it never happens like that. There is no Dushyanta, there is only the actor. He is ever vigilant to say the right words that Dushyanta would have said, and to take the right step that the Dushyanta would take. That's all. That is all you have there. There is no identification. That is the Siddhanta. This we have studied in high school days, or not in high school days, in college days. We were studying Alankara Shastra. This discussion was there. And since then it sat in my mind. And therefore, whenever they say we are artists, living in the role, so I say, okay, come on, you don't bluff like that. They are not artists, they are out to get some money, and they are playing the role in the right way. They are not living in the role or any such thing. I mean, you got the point which I thought of making. Therefore, father, mother, it should not be status. Even for a second, I should not believe that I am a father. There is no father. That's it. One generation, and there is a genetic continuity. One generation moves on into the depths of time, and the genetic continuity sees to it that one more generation is coming forward. That is all there is. There is nothing like father, etc. It is we respect that genetic continuity. It is Ishvara's order, so we respect it, and we do our duty. But we don't derive any status from it. We still remain jnata, watchful. Jnata is the watcher, the watchman. This is the watchman of the Zen philosophy. In Zen philosophy, they say, be the watchman. That is all he says. He doesn't say anything more. The Zen philosophy is like that. They don't say many words. Just a few words only they say. Be the watchman. That's all. Watchman means what? That is what? Jnata. So, you are not any of the descriptions or titles that you take upon yourself. You are just a jnata. Okay, I am the jnata, the knower. What is the essence of a knower? What is the essence of the knower? I am aware of the forms, the awareness of the forms. I am aware of the sounds, the awareness of the sounds. Like that, I am aware of the smells, I am aware of the touch, I am aware of one more thing. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Rasa, tastes. I am aware. And I am aware of all these people. I am aware of the so-called family members, this and that. Then coming to the body, I am aware of the body. I am aware of the mind. That there is the awareness of the body, there is awareness of the mind. So this is what I am. So what is my essence? Awareness. What we call in Sanskrit, jnaptihi. Jnaptihi, awareness. It is like this object weighs 20 grams. So what is this 20? The 20 is its mass. Similarly, I am aware of all these things. So what is my content, essential content? That is the awareness. Jnaptihi. Because I am the awareness, I am aware of forms. Because I am the awareness, I am aware of sounds. That awareness. Don't ask what is awareness. Awareness is that by which you are aware of forms. That is how it is defined. Yaya rupam vijanati tat prajnanam. Aitareya Upanishad. By which he knows the form. That is prajnana. Prajnana is awareness. That is prajnanam. That is the awareness. What is prajnanam? By which you are aware of sounds. By which you are aware of tastes. Like that, yena swadu aswadu vijanati. By which he knows the good taste and the bad taste. That is awareness. So, suppose you are eating something while talking with the other person, then you are not aware of this swadu and aswadu, because you are aware of what the other person is saying. So essentially, you are the awareness. And so that awareness is the essence of the awarer. You are the awarer, that is the status, jnatuhu. In Sanskrit it is truch. Jnatru. Jnatru becomes jnatuhu. In Sanskrit the suffix is trich. In English the suffix is er. The same meaning. To do, doer. To see, seer. To be aware, awarer. In Sanskrit it is jnatru. Shashti ekavachanam is jnatuhu. So the essence of the awarer is the awareness. That is the Atma. Jnatur Atma. That is the prajnanam. And that prajnana is Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma. Did you hear that Mahavakya? From Aitareya Upanishad, Rigveda Mahavakya it is. Prajnanam Brahma. So what is Brahma? Brahma is Ishvara. So what is this Brahma? Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam is the Brahma. Oh, we wanted to know Brahma. And so you know Prajnanam Brahma. So somebody said Bidalaha. What is Bidala? They reply Marjala. What is Marjala? So he doesn't know Bidala, and so its meaning is Marjala. Now he doesn't know Marjala. Now what he should do? So Marjala. What is Marjala? Cat. Cat is Marjala. Then Bidala is also cat only. So like that. So Brahma. What is Brahma? Prajnanam Brahma. Then what is Prajnanam? Yena swadu aswadu vijanati. Yena rupani pashyati. Yena jighrati. Smells. Yena vyakaroti cha. There is a verse like that in Aitareya Upanishad, by which he is able to speak. He speaks because he describes the things. That is what speech is. And so that means he must be aware of the things that he is describing. Right? So he is aware. So that awareness, that is prajnanam. That prajnanam is Brahma. Suppose the person dies away without knowing the truth of his own Atma. That is the Atma. Brahma is the Atma. So without knowing the truth about himself, he dies away. It is like that prince. He died, he became old or whatever. He need not become old, a person need not become old to die. One can die any time. Earlier the better, I suppose. Anyway, because one job is over. The job of keeping this body, etc., alive and taking care of it and then giving medicine, over. Clean. Anyway, so that prince So the issue is not whether he dies early or late. That is not the issue. That is not the point. That is besides the point. The point is, did he ever knew that he is the prince or prince? That is the point, right? Did he ever know that he was indeed the prince? Did he ever know? That is the point. So Shankara says, Avijñāte janma nashtam. So without knowing that prajñāta, prajñānam is the Atma, you are the jnata. There are the steps. You are the jnata. First stage. So you just throw away every other description of yourself. Don't identify so readily with everything. Don't identify. Suppose you say there is a dog. You say, I am the master. You are identifying. Don't do that mistake. The dog is dog, you are what you are. Leave it at that. Don't say I am the master of the dog. It's a silly thing to say. Be master of your senses, be the master of your mind. That is better. Not master of the dog. That doesn't make you great, you know. Be the master of your emotions. That is better. The master of the body. Instead of being a slave to the body, be the master of the body. Better. Anyway, so people so readily identify. This is the misfortune, you know. A Mahatma, he cannot identify with anything. He lives in a home for 20 years, but he doesn't say it is my home. He doesn't feel that it is my home. He doesn't feel. The idea doesn't cross the mind that it is my home. Documents are there in his name, but still the idea doesn't cross his mind. Therefore, when the time comes to give up, he just says, take it. Because it is never mine, so take it. Like that. There is no wrenching, etc. Wrenching. As if the heart is plucked away. Somebody takes away something. That feeling of wrenching, which the worldly people feel all the time. So when they lose something, it is just absent in the Mahatma. The reason is very simple. It is not physical. It is not anything gross. It is very certain that you identify, makes you deeply sorrowful when something is taken away. Deeply sorrowful. That identification. Anyway, so you don't identify. First step is jnata. The second step is the Atma of the jnata is prajnanam. That is what I am. Be the watchman, Zen watchman. The watchman, you ask him, what are you watching? He says, what am I watching? Who are you? I am a watchman. What are you watching? No, I am not watching anything in particular. Then what do? I watch. So that is really the watchman. No identification. Just be the watchman. And that watchfulness. Watchman means it is not a physical thing. It is the watchfulness alone is called watchman. Watchfulness. That watchfulness, which is same as awareness. Awareness undisturbed by the mind. That is called watchfulness. So awareness which is not broken by an object like taste or form or sound. So that awareness unconditioned by any of these things. It is the watchfulness. One and the same. That is the prajnana. How far is it away from you? It is not far. It is you. Na dure. Jnatur Atma. That is your Atma. Not the body. Not the mind. Mind prepares a person. A persona. Mind prepares a persona. So, I tell you how I used to have an illustration about it. And some people were very amused by my illustration. So I was not amused by it myself. I thought some illustration, but people are very impressed by that. So then I thought, okay, it is a good illustration. So, do you know this? I used to have it with me to show it. This is the thread. Thread is wound around a small thing. The sewing machine will have it sitting on the top. What is that? You see, a spinning mill, its capacity is known by the number of the spindles. That is the spindle. The spindle. So, what is the size of your mill, sir? 32 million spindles per month. That is how they give the size of the mill. Big size, small size, like that. That is the spindle. And I am looking at a spindle. Generally, the spindles will have a cardboard cylinder to keep the spindle well fixed. The threads don't get disturbed. A cardboard spindle. A cardboard cylinder will be there. On the cylinder, the thread is wound. That is the spindle. But then there are spindles in which there is no cardboard cylinder. Can you imagine such a spindle? A small spindle. There is nothing inside, only space. Okay? Now, what is that spindle? What is it? It is what is the size of the spindle? Cylinder. Cylindrical shape. Now, what is the cylinder inside? Space. It is a space. And the space has become the spindle. How? It is space. Now, put around and round. Like that, the thread is wound round like that, 100 rounds. Now, the space is trapped in a spindle. The space is now a cylindrical space, and it is having a small length and a diameter and a volume. Pi r square h is the volume. In high school we must have studied. Pi is pi, 22 by 7. R square, the radius square. H, the height of the cylinder. That is the volume of the cylinder. You see how many things are there for that cylinder? What is the cylinder? Space. But it is not space, it is the cylinder. Its volume is pi r square h, diameter is r, height is h. It is a cylinder. Now, this cylinder, where from it came? From the space. How it came from the space? So, you don't do anything to the space. Just condition the space with round after the thread. Okay? That is the illustration. Okay, you are with it? Now, awareness. Take the awareness. Awareness has no boundaries. Space has no boundaries. Awareness has no boundaries. I am aware of the galaxy. I am aware of this small little thing here. Where is the boundary for awareness? No, I am aware of the farthermost galaxy. But suddenly they come out with a new telescope. Okay? Then I am aware of another galaxy which is beyond that farthermost galaxy. How? Because the awareness has no boundary. Awareness has no boundary. Suppose awareness has boundary, even after inventing the telescope, you will not be aware of anything beyond a point. Right? But there is no boundary. Awareness has no size. I am aware of this, I am aware of the mountain. So when I am aware of this, now I am aware of the mountain. Should I pump myself or what? Balloon like, should I have to expand my awareness? There is nothing expanding. Because awareness has no size. You cannot put it into any category that is known to you. Like a balloon, it is not like that. A certain length, no. All dravya dharmas, the properties of matter, do not apply to the awareness. It is not matter. Matter means it has a boundary always. You can extend the boundary, by pulling. But then you cannot extend any further. There is always a boundary. There is always a size, a volume for matter, but not for awareness. You know why? Because the volume, the size, the length, etc., they shine in the awareness. They come to light in the awareness. Okay? Therefore, they do not limit the awareness. Suppose the length, the size, etc., they limit. That limitation caused by the size, length, etc., comes to light in awareness. Therefore, that limitation doesn't apply to the awareness. Are you following the logic? So awareness has no limitations. It has no boundaries. No, I am the body. You are not the body. Come on. You are not the body. You are aware of the body. Therefore, the limitations of the body, they do not limit awareness. Even the limitation of the galaxy doesn't limit awareness. There is no boundary for awareness. There is no volume for awareness. You put yourself into the volume of a body by wrongly identifying with the body, with a physical thing. You are not limited to the volume of a body. You are aware of the volume, small as well as big. You are not a volume yourself. Then time, you are aware of the time. Time is the flow. Flow of what? Flow of mind. Unless there is the flow of mind, there is no time. When mind is flowing, time comes. Time is a category of the mind. In the absence of mind, there is no time. Meditation is half an hour session. Only after the meditation ends. Not while meditation is going on. So, this prajnana is not limited in space by the parameters of length, width and depth. They do not limit it. The limitations of the body are not the limitations of prajnana. You should know that. The limitations of... So how to know that? How to know that the limitations of the body do not limit the prajnana? How to know? You have to perseveringly disidentify with the body. How long? As long as you feel as though you are the body, so long you have to practice that viveka, disidentification. This prince was told, you are a prince. But he said, I feel that I am a dacoit. You see, he was taken to the palace because he is the prince now. And so the minister recognized him. That is how the story goes. And in the palace, while going, he saw a murti made of gold. Then he feel like stealing it and putting it under his clothes. Then the minister noticed it, told, you need not steal it. You know why? It is yours. You need not steal it. Then, I remember, I forgot. Yeah, you remind yourself. That is all you have to do. Whenever you feel like stealing something, you remind that you are the prince, not the dacoit. Because he always feels like stealing something or the other. So he has to remind. Then next day the minister asked, are you reminding? Yeah, I am reminding. And next day, now I am becoming familiar that I am not the dacoit, that I am the prince. But still I forget occasionally. So when I wake up from sleep and this damsel like young lady comes all well dressed and all that, she is the maid. I feel like kidnapping her. Don't do that because she is your servant. You need not kidnap her. She is at your beck and call. Then remember suddenly, I am the prince. So how long should he do that? Similarly, the practice of disidentification with the body one has to do. You believe me, you will lose it. You believe me, I tell you. It is easy. You want to gain some confidence in the direction that you are progressing. People want to know whether they are progressing. Because that gives some confidence, which is true. So, what you do is you look at the people in the world. Just look at. when they are sick, or even before they become sick. So how badly the people are obsessed with the body. Then look at a Mahatma. How easily he is able to handle his sickness. What could be the reason? Identification. That is the only thing. Identification with the body. I knew a Mahatma in Himalayas, in Uttarakashi. Devotees come to meet him. One of the devotees is a cardiologist. And so the disciples told, our Mahatma Ji nowadays he is gasping for breath. Even while going to the Ganga, he is unable to go himself. And he always like that, gasping for breath. So they checked him once. He checked with his stethoscope. That is all the instruments that are available there. He checked and told his heart is not beating properly. It is enough. Stethoscope is enough for him, because the heart is in such a bad shape that the stethoscope is enough to detect the irregularity of the beat. The beat is not regular. It is not lub, dub, lub, dub. It is not, some murmuring is going on. So he said, he is sick. His heart requires urgent attention. So, but he has to come to Hrishikesh, because in Uttarakashi there is no proper hospital. In Hrishikesh there is a hospital. In those days. Now I don't know. So he has to come down because he needs some angioplasty, this and that. So he asked him, please come, we'll go in my car. He said, no, I don't come. No, you can come and get repaired the heart and come back. Not necessary. Let it beat as long as it wants. I'm not interested. No, you will become healthy. No, I'm not interested. It is doing all right. It is not causing a major problem. When I get down, it causes some problem. So I have to change some of the things. No, you will die. I won't die. You take care. So like that. He did not come. Because what is there? Suppose you do something to it, live a little longer. Why? Earlier the better. So I am not the body, that is the idea. So when you look at this and then look at the worldly person who is so obsessed with the heart and beat and this and that. In ECG something went up and a little more up than normal and something went a little. This ECG is this long. And so in that every inch you see like that, something will go, something will appear a bit different. Maybe heart, maybe machine, whatever. So it is so long it is, here something is not right. So then when this happened, yesterday night 2 hours, 2:12 p.m. it happened. What is that? In sleep it happened. Yesterday 2:12 it happened. So 2:12, therefore there is a small thing. What kind of approach it is, I don't know. That kind of obsession with the body. So the difference. Therefore you have the progress now. You know what is progress. So as you perseveringly decide to fly, then the limitations of the body do not limit you. That is progress. Similarly, the limitations of mind, like you just give up all psychological time. I explained enough about the psychological time. Just give up. No psychological time. Live one day at a time. Live in the present moment. Of course, you look at the watch and you take the time appropriately. 8:30 breakfast. Not that you won't take breakfast or any such thing. 8:30 breakfast, 12:30 lunch. Those things will go on. No psychological time. 2013, what is the... So, you see, one person asked, what is the income and expenditure in 2013? How do we know now? In 2013 income is, if you do some more business, you will get some more money. And if you cut your expenses, your expenditure will be less. Now somebody else will tell that to you. Arey, kya baat hai bhai? How I fail to understand. It is something I don't know that. Something I fail to. Because my income and expenditure, how somebody else will know it, I will know it. And I can change it if I wish. Increase the income, decrease the expenditure. Or the other way, I do it. And I can alter it. Anyway. So no psychological time. Just throw it aside. Now mind won't limit you. The limitation of mind is time. The limitation of body is the space. That is the category. Prajnanam is not limited in space. When you are not the body, the prajnanam is not limited in space. When you are not the mind. How? I told you. Psychological time. Give up. Keep the chronological time. Psychological time you give up. No past, no future. Psychologically. Live in the present. Practice it. The limitations of time are out. To the prajnana. Now prajnana, it is shodhitam. That is what the shodhana. This is called tvam padartha shodhana. The meaning of the word tvam is made pure. Pure means it is inquired into. You do inquiry into it. It is shodhana is inquiry. This is the inquiry. So you inquire into it and realize that the prajnana, which is the jnatuhu atma, that is the tvam, that is the real tvam, not the person. So that prajnana, which is the essence of the awarer, that is the awareness pure, is not limited in space. It is not limited in time. That is the Brahma. Spaceless and timeless. Brahma. That is the God. Spaceless and timeless. Where will you have spaceless and timeless? Here and now. Not in distance. Spaceless and timeless cannot be found elsewhere. Here only you will find it. Spaceless and timeless cannot be found at some other time. Here and now. Spaceless and timeless. That is the Atma, which is Prajnana, that is Brahma. This is the Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma. You know it, your taking birth as a human being is fulfilled. Avijñāte, so vijñāte janma sarthakam. You see, people say, I have fulfilled my life because I made a home in India. In India, two things. Get the daughter married and make own home. So he is retired from state government service as upper division clerk. And so, by the time he retired, his daughter or daughters are married and he made a home for himself. What an accomplished person he is. Life became fulfilled. That is how he feels. You know how long he feels like that? Whenever he sees somebody else's daughter unmarried, or whenever he sees somebody living in a rented home, or whenever he feels good, that way he feels fulfilled. And suppose some headache comes, no fulfillment. That is all that is gone. So, it's a sense of fulfillment. Very short-lived, very flimsy sense of fulfillment. Or you start a startup and then someone, a big guy like Microsoft, etc., he came and told, your startup I will purchase for $1 million. So it is like in the seventh heaven. So you sell it to the guy for $1 million. The $1 million, when you take it, that money to India, it becomes much bigger. And so you are a karodpati now, fulfilled, a sense of fulfillment. How long will it remain, you know? a few minutes, gone. Because I met one such gentleman. He is already struggling to do something else. Means what? He is not fulfilled. So, by any of these methods, life will not become fulfilled. Then we have these ritualists. I know any number of them in India, especially in Andhra Pradesh. They perform good rituals. A lot of traditional background is there. So recently they performed a big ritual called Atiratra in Bhadrachalam, Andhra Pradesh. You must have seen it in newspapers. Or maybe you don't see. This is the local thing. A big ritual, 12 days ritual. And they feel that by doing Atiratra we will be fulfilled. Now you meet that Atiratra gentleman. He has done one Atiratra in Kerala. Now he has done one Atiratra in Andhra Pradesh. He is waiting for an invitation from someone to do a third Atiratra elsewhere. Somebody has to invite because it costs lots of money. And that somebody should not be like a person like me. So who is waiting for Bhiksha and all that. So that somebody must be having a few crore rupees. A few crore rupees you must be having. I have 2 crores. Okay, let us do Atiratra. We need 10 crores. But 2 crores means you start pamphlets and all that and print the receipt books and all that. So it will come. And the TTD we will put an application, they will give some money. Like that. If you start with 2 crores, 10 crore will come. If you don't have anything, you are sitting waiting for Bhiksha, then nothing will come. So, he is waiting for a third Atiratra. Means what? There is no fulfillment. Similarly, you make a temple. A person who made a temple is waiting to make another temple. Always like that. You see the psychology of human people. I am not criticizing anybody. I am just examining the human psychology. A person who made a temple is waiting to make another temple. He is like that. He is destined to be like that. Or he is trying to expand the existing temple, which amounts to say another temple only. Always. The temple guy is always temple, one more temple, or expand, put this. Everything is there, but Ayyappa is not there. Come on, let us put Ayyappa. This is the temple guy. He will never be fulfilled by making any number of temples, because there is some more temple to be made always. You see, in these pursuits which are worldly and religious, there is no fulfillment whatsoever. No fulfillment. So, there is only fulfillment when you know a few things. One, you are jnata. 2, your essence is awareness. What is the essence of a banker? The wealth in the bank. What is the essence of a landlord? The lands that he possesses. What is the essence of a jeweler? The gold reserves that he has. What is the essence of a politician? The political support, the clout in the society that he has, the number of votes that he gets. That is his essence. What is the essence of a human being? The awareness of Absolute. That it is. That's why it is called Atman. That is the Atman. So, therefore, so number 1 is I am jnata. Number 2, my essence is awareness. That is my essence. Atma. Essence means Atma. Number 3, this awareness which I am is spaceless and timeless. That is the real quantum leap. 1 and 2 are relatively easy. Third takes some effort. Means it takes some striving. There also nothing physical. It is again the same thing. The space limitation is imagined. And the imagination, it is a mystery. There is a mystery around imagination. Number one, the imagination appears real. It is imagined by him. He imagines. You see, now let me imagine, and he imagines. And then he takes the imagination to be real. So he imagines and takes it to be real. Okay, let me imagine these two lines are going upward. One line is cutting the other line. Therefore, I will have obstacles in life. Okay, let me imagine. So I have imagined. Now there are obstacles in my life. They are real. Arey, you have just now imagined. You are imagining, How what you imagine can be anything more than an imagination? They cannot be real. No, I am not imagining they are real. You have imagined just now. This line is going and cutting that line is imagination only, You are imagining. So you imagine and then you believe that they are real. Hey, buddhu hai. You imagine and you make them real. Don't you see that? This is the mystery of imagination, that it appears real. Number one. Number two, there is no number two. That is I say like that. I forgot number two. What number two? I forgot it. Anyway, so you have to give up this imagination. You have to give up that imagination. You imagine yourself to be this or that. You can never ever be this or that. You are what you are. Never this or that. You imagine. And it appears real. And it binds. Now what all you need to do is just to stop imagining. See the dream as dream. See the false as false. But be warned. Seeing false as false requires tremendous courage, not ordinary. It requires a tremendous courage. Seeing false as false. Sri Ramakrishna said, seeing false as false is like you are on a tree branch. You are on the tree and you are holding on to the branch. You give it up. It is like that. Just holding like that or like this. Give up. Even to think of it, the heart skips a beat. It is like that. Is it difficult or easy? It is extremely difficult. Because holding on to the branch, give up. Extremely difficult. There cannot be anything easier than that. Just give up. That is the secret of truth. You just give up. You are already the truth. You need not become a sannyasi and all that. You can stay at home. But just give up. Think about it. So you have to come out of that imagination. You imagine. Everything is imagined. My home, imagination. My wife, imagination. I know my wife. You never know your wife, I tell you. You never know your wife. You can know the Atma, but you can never know your wife. I tell you. Really. No, nobody can know, because the heart of a woman is unfathomable. Really, I am telling some wisdom early in the morning. Really. So, just imagine, all imagination. Just give up. What you have to give up is only imagination, nothing else. Because we are caught in that rope of that imagination. That is the spindle example. So this is my home rope, not rope, that thread. my home, my wife, my son, my daughter, my career, my bank account, my religion, I have to protect it, my culture, my music, my dance, my caste, my creed, the spindle. Now the space is a cylinder. Space is not space anymore. It is a cylinder. It has a weight. It has a length, a radius, volume, small, big, good, straight, crooked, space. It is all about space. Suppose I remove this thread, caste, taken out, creed, taken out, race, religion, color, and then gender, and then father, mother, date of birth, age, everything. You take all these are the threads. Remove every single thread. What remains? Infinite space. That is the Atma. You know it, you are fulfilled. Vijñāte janma sarthakam. Avijñāte. So you keep all these imaginary threads, they become a noose ultimately. The person dies with this noose created by his mind. Oh, I am leaving my home behind, my wife behind, my children, all this wealth I have accumulated with a lot of sweat. What these guys will do? In all probability, they will spoil it. They are very no thrift, so they will spoil it. A lot of money with struggle I have accumulated. My sons and daughters will spoil. Whether spoil or not, they will certainly fight about it. Already they are fighting. Ayyayo, oh God, what will you do? He dies. That is the noose. He dies by that noose which he created by his imagination. What a misfortune. So janma wasted. Avijñāte janma nashtam. Vijñāte janma sarthakam. There is a Vakya in Kenopanishad which just runs parallel to this. So the Vakya is Ihache davedit means Vijñāte. Atha satyam asti means janma sarthakam. Nachediha vedit means avijñāte. Mahati vinashtihi janma nashtam. Shankara framed that verse based on that Vakya from the Upanishad. So, ihache davedit atha satyam asti nachediha vedit mahati vinashtihi vichitya bhutani, something is there. So second half, something is there. So jnaturatma iti Vedanta Dindima. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Narasimha Teertha. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.